guys, what about you? This is one of the last videos we'll put out. We'll probably put out a separate just review of what we thought of Blue Bay Platinum and go into a bit of detail about that. What this is basically not a flashy video at all. Just going to roll some footage over it and give you as much information about what you should be paying or what the prices currently are in Turkey as of September 2022. So we went for 10 nights. We stayed in Marmaris in the Blue Bay Platinum. So it's just to give you an idea of the food, breakfast, lunches, dinners, all that. So basically I'm going to run through it just to give you an idea of what you need to budget with your holiday to Turkey. Of course, currency fluctuations recently have affected things. Not too much in Turkey. You know, when we were there, we were getting about 20.5 lira to the pound in the exchange shops. You know, I've looked at it now. It's maybe 18.50 to 19, so it's not really making much of a difference. It's more the lira fluctuation. But to be honest, in Marmaris, they seem to just basically put it to the pound, you know, and just charge it the same, whatever lira it is, to the pound for whatever they're charging. Turkey has got a lot more expensive since the last time we were there, around 4 years ago. It's the inflation, they're saying 80%, but the locals are saying it's 100, 200%. It's alcohol and food it's really affecting. The likes of cigarettes and that, they're still cheap. You know, 200 cigarettes are £15, £14 I've seen them for. Cigars and that, not too dear, like £3 for big enough cigars. Not a smoker myself, but just something we picked up on. So we'll start with breakfast. We didn't go out for breakfast at all. We were in the all-inclusive, but breakfast we found everywhere in Marmaris was £4 to £5 for your English breakfast and Scottish breakfast. Like, these used to be £1 and £2, and they've just seemed to have rocketed. But again, it's inflation, and the English breakfast that you get in the restaurants, they're imported from England and Scotland, so you're getting a proper breakfast that you would get here. So when you look at it that way, it's probably about what you pay here, a bit less, you know. So it wouldn't stop you venturing out. It's just we never got around to it, to be honest. So £4, £5 for your English Scottish breakfast in Marmaris. The cheapest I seen it was when we went up to Ishmael for a day, and we've seen them for like £2 and £3 still in some of the restaurants as we were passing. So, you know, you can get it a bit cheaper, and it's a bit like everything. Ishmael we found was cheaper for certain things. We were only up for one day for a few hours, so it's just what I've seen in passing. The likes of your lunches, if you were going out for a pizza or something, they start from like £4, like 80 Turkish lira to 100 Turkish lira, so £4 to £5. Likes of a cheeseburger, chips, you're talking 80 lira, so you're talking £4 again, for if you're going out for a lunch or a snack. But you can get like kebab rolls and everything for £2 and £3 if you're just getting a doner wrap or anything like that. So it's still reasonable enough. If you're going out for dinner, what you're talking is they do the set meal. I'm sure everyone knows the 5 courses. They bring the Turkish bread and all the spreads for that, and then you'll have your soup, and then you'll have a starter, and you'll have a main, and you'll have ice cream or coffee afterwards. I remember these used to be like £6 and £9, £6, £10. It's now for the chicken, 5-course meal for the chicken, pasta dishes. That's around 11 to 11.99, so 11 to £12 for that. If you want the steak, you'll pay £17 for that. Again, shop around. You might get little differences here and there, but that seemed to be the bog standard price that we've seen walking around. The best, one of the best steak meals we've seen was Pop In, which is up near Pasha Hotel. Max there was great. He took care of us and Jolene's birthday and everything, and we didn't even ask him to. They just went out of their way and done that. It was really nice. So big ups to Max. If you're near Pop In, just go in there, because his meal included 12-ounce steaks, and you also got a drink with that, which everywhere is £3, you know. So that was a really good meal. So really your steak meal is only like £14. Your chicken meal only works out at like £8 if you're getting a beer with that. So that was the only one we seen including a drink. I'm not saying nowhere else does it, but in coming across, that was the only one that we seen. So basically kids meals as well. If you're going out with kids, a burger and chips like £3. Chicken nuggets were a bit dear; they were £4.50. They also do like shish kebab and chips, and I've seen steak and chips for like £5 for kids. So if two adults, two children going out, say the two adults got the steak meal, you're talking £34 straight away. You throw a couple of beers on that, there's another £6. If you're drinking Effis, which is the cheapest, then it could add up. We went out for Jolene's birthday. We had this. It was 2 steak dinners and that the 5 courses. We got the free drink and we had a few beers, and it worked out about £80 something. So it is getting more expensive. I'm not trying to put people off at all, because everything's getting expensive. If people haven't been there in a while, it's just the budget right for going. If you're self-catering, for example, if you're all inclusive, I suppose it doesn't really matter. You bring a few hundred with you. But so that's sort of food mostly covered. Give you an idea. On to drinks, the most important part, alcohol. So I remember when it was there, it was about £1.70 for a bottle of Effie's, 500ml bottle of Effie's. It's 55 to 60 is your basic, so you're around £3 for a 500ml bottle of Effie's. Tuborg is around the same, maybe a bit dearer, maybe 70. You can get bottles of Miller, but they're only 330ml. They're around 75 to 90 lira, so you're talking about 350 to 450 roughly for a bottle of Miller. We've seen a big fluctuation in Budweiser. 330ml bottles of Budweiser, we've seen them for 55 lira, which is great. That's as cheap as Effie's. But other places we've seen them at 100, which is £5 a bottle of Bud. So it just depends. The beer, I always liked Effie's, but this time I was there, I don't know if they've changed the recipe or something, but it just felt so heavy to me. I didn't enjoy it, and I was drinking Budweiser a lot more. So if you like the sort of lighter beers, and they sell Miller as well. The Miller it fluctuates again, sort of between 70 and 90 for a bottle. So it's between £1 a bottle difference. It's not that much. If you're a Guinness drinker, my father-in-law, his nights he just drank Guinness. And they were expensive nights, because a tin of Guinness, 500ml, was £6 to £6.50. So if you're sitting drinking 5 or 6 of them, it can get an expensive night, So you can buy them in the supermarkets for like half the price. You can buy them for £3 a tin. It's the same with the Effie's and everything. Bottles of Effie's, you'll pay £1.50 in all the supermarkets. So if you're just buying them for yourself, to bring into an all-inclusive, that's fine. Ciders. If you're a cider drinker, they were roughly around £4 for a cider. I don't know what one it was, but I don't know if it was a local one. I don't know if it was maybe Strongbow, but I'm sure there was Strongbow there for anyone that likes cider. Like vodkas, gins, things like that. You're talking for an Absolute vodka or a Smirnoff vodka. You're talking around £5. It's like 95 to 100 lira we were finding, and some of the places we went, you were then charged for your mixer, so they would charge you. Soft drinks were around, for a Fanta and Coke, with about 30 lira, about £1.50. So you were charging you that, so you were paying about £6.50 for a vodka and Coke or a gin and tonic. But again, it depends what bar you went into. Some give you mixers, some didn't. There was, when my mother-in-law was buying vodka and Coke, Diet Coke she wanted, they didn't have Diet Coke there, just Coke Zero. They were running to the supermarket to buy Diet Coke. But if you're not really fussy on your vodka or Absolute or whatever, you can get their local vodka, which from what was seen was fine. And it was a 2-for-1. So the local vodkas and gins was about 150 lira, so it's about £7.50. You get 2 of them, and they're good measures, and you also get your mixer included. So you could just buy the local stuff, and it is a lot cheaper than if you're staying on Absolute and everything. So it just depends on your preference. One of the cocktails, there's basically, I sum up the cocktails in 2 departments really. One, there's the cocktails that you get in the 2-for-1s that you go into all the places, and they're okay. They're just all right. They're not like cocktails you would see at fancy bars or anything back in like England or UK, America and all that, you know, you go in and get a nice cocktail. But they're nice enough. They are nice. We had some nice ones. We had some terrible ones. So for those 2 for 1, you're talking between 130 and 170 lira, depending on what one you pick. Like we've seen porn star martinis were 170. So that's 850, but you're getting 2, you know, and then other ones were like £6.50 for 2, which is great. So, I mean, you can't really complain. I'm saying they're not great compared to the fancy cocktails you might be used to, but you know, they're still fine, and there's still plenty of alcohol in them. So yeah, they're still decent enough. If you go to a good restaurant, you can get good cocktails and good proper frozen daiquiris and everything, and you'll pay £6.50 each for them. So it's what you want, really. You know, you can do whatever. We've seen the 2 for 1s. There was some places done the frozen cocktails in the 2 for 1, and they were about 160 roughly, and they were pretty good. You know, I had over to Karaoke Bar just across from Blue Bay Platinum. They done frozen daiquiris, and they done Skittles daiquiris and everything, and they were really nice. So you know, just again, shop around, see what menu fits your taste, and just go there, try it, and enjoy. This one's for all you Carling drinkers out there. There was only one place I seen tins of Carling. Not that I drink it, but it was. I just noticed tins of Carling in a fridge in a bar called No Name, and that's across from the Golden Rock Hotel. That's a good lively bar at night and everything. And we asked them, how much are the tins of Carling? And they come over, he brought it over. Here, do you want it? I says, no, I'm just curious. He's like, £8. I'm like, oh my goodness, £8 for a tin of Carling, which over here is about 60p. But if you really like Carling, yeah, knock yourself out. So I hope we went over everything. Went through the food, drinks, your trips. Jolene put out a boat trip and put the information on that in the other vlog. It was £15 for the all-inclusive boat trip, which was really good, including transfers from your hotel. We've also, if this vlog's been useful or interesting to you, we'll have another one on shopping, what you should pay for the different t-shirts and shorts and football tops. It'll be on the channel if you want to have a look. And if you want any more content about Marmaris, have a look at our vlogs. We've put good in-depth vlogs out this year, from the hotel to the resort as well. So please like and subscribe. Thank you, everybody. And if you're going to Turkey or anywhere else, have a great holiday.